lot of people, for some reason, think that the original Funimation dub of Dragon Ball Z is somehow, in some way, better than Kai. If you are one of the people that think that, you're wrong. Dead wrong. In fact, it's not even like a close battle, okay? Some people have an issue with Gohan sounds like a little girl because he's voice acted by a girl. And guess what? That makes sense. Why? Because little boys sound like little girls. And so actually, it does make sense. You just don't like it because nostalgia has boiled your brain. And if nostalgia is going to boil your brain, then so be it. If you want nostalgia to take over your life and make all your decisions for you, then let nostalgia do it, okay? I don't care. But here's the thing. It's only nostalgia. Kai's dub is 10, 100,000 billion zillion times better than anything that we had back in the day. And part of that is because the voice actors were inexperienced scumbags. And now they've got a lot of, experience under their belt, so they do a lot better job. And I've got a handful of examples to show you to where there's literally no question that Kai's dub is 10 times better. Not only do we get a more manga accurate representation of what was actually supposed to be said in these episodes, but we just get more experienced voice acting, better screams, better emotional feelings, coming out of the characters. I mean, half the time they were just making shit up instead of actually translating in the original dub, which is not good. The number of times I've seen this, like, I hate this dub. Fucking, the original was so much better. Fucking Kai sucks so bad. They freaking cut out all the blood and they colored Mr. Popo weird. And let me tell you something. If you've only ever seen Dragon Ball Kai through Nicktoons, you are missing out, okay? It is so much better. Not only does it look beautiful most of the time, but the stuff that you saw in Nicktoons isn't even Dragon Ball. It's not even the same thing. It's a whole nother version of the show. Highly cut, highly censored. They cut out all the cuss words. They cut out all the blood. They turned blood purple in sometimes. They took it out entirely in others. Sometimes they didn't even use the updated animation that Kai delivered to them. They just recut the episodes in the same way. Why? I have no idea. Either way, because of copyright this and copyright that, I can't just straight show you everything. So I'm gonna, put a little, you'll see, okay? But you'll still be able to tell that these shots are beautiful. And I don't understand the hate even in the slightest. Because I grew up on Dragon Ball Z, I remember the original, and I loved the Falconer score, okay? I did. The Vegeta theme song was on loop half the time in my whatever I was listening to music on at the time. Could have just been a burnt CD, I don't remember. But when I just rewatched this entire show with my son over the last couple years by watching Dragon Ball Kai, let me tell you something. I don't even care about the nostalgic factor. It was so much better. I was constantly like, dang, that looks so good. And then there's some iconic scenes that I'll show you that are just performed so much better. So let's just take a look at it. First, we're gonna take a peek at a scene from the Saiyan Saga. Check this out.
Hey, don't get ahead of yourself. You haven't beaten us yet.
Trust me, Kakarot, I know an easy win. When I see one, I'm a Saiyan. It's what I do.
Come on, Goku, let's finish this guy. We'll charge him together.
Wait, not yet. Not until he tells us what he's done with Gohan. Now where is he? Where have you hidden him?
Right, your little son. You think you're going to save him? Who's getting ahead of himself now?
Now let's look at Kai.
And even if we don't, there's still 2 more Saiyans out there, right?
So what? Personally, I find the prospect exciting.
Yeah, you would. But exciting's probably not the word I'd use right now. To be completely honest, I'm pretty terrified.
Yes, I don't blame you. I suppose I'd feel the same way if I ever found myself staring death in the face.
You think the original was better there? Let's go to way later in the Saiyan Saga, Goku versus Vegeta.
I'm only going to say this once, so listen carefully. I, Vegeta, Prince of all Saiyans, would like to offer you, Kakarot, the opportunity to stand beside me in this conquest. With Nappa gone, I could use a good man. Think about it. We would rule the planets. You could have anything you desired. There's no one in the universe that could touch us. Nothing would be out of your grasp. Well, what do you say, Kakarot?
I have everything I could ever want right here on Earth. So I'll have to say, no thanks. Besides, I've seen how you treat your partners. Not much job security.
All right then, so be it. You had your chance.
All right, now let's look at this exact scene in Kai.
This spot should do. From what I can tell, there's no people or animals nearby.
Interesting. Of all the places on your planet, you chose this as your grave site. You should feel lucky. Not every low-class warrior gets the chance to spar with a super elite like myself. Not long after Saiyans are born, their skills as a soldier are tested. The scum whose scores are ranked the lowest are sent to the outer worlds where the opponents are weak. Much like you were, Kakarot. In other words, you were cast out like a dog.
Yes, and as a result, I was lucky enough to come here to Earth. I'm grateful for that. Besides, maybe even a lower-class outcast can surpass an elite if he puts his mind to it.
That's a nice attempt at a joke. Now let me show you a wall you will never have the ability to scale through effort alone.
Come on. Kai is worlds above Dragon Ball Z OG Funimation dub in this regard. This fight is way more powerful. What they are saying to each other is more powerful. It's delivered more powerfully. Come on. The only reason you would prefer the original is nostalgia. And that's it. I think a great example is the Frieza saga. Frieza was so poorly voice acted in the original, and people act like it was great. I do not understand even a little bit how they think this. All right, here we go.
I can't even sense him. Darn! All right, where is he? Oh, man!
Let go of me, you no-good stick and dirty Saiyan!
Not today! So this is it, her true power. Well, I'm not impressed.
You'll be much more impressed when you're dead!
I wouldn't count on it.
Well, fancy that. One shot and he's throwing in the towel. Strike up a dirge!
Don't get too excited, Frieza, because this battle is far from over.
Let's take a peek-see at Kai. All right, here we go.
Too slow!
What the?
Miss me!
Give it up, Frieza!
I understand if you're impressed, but I have a confession to make. That was a warm-up.
What a relief. I was beginning to worry. That was as strong as you could get.
Just for shits, let's look at this famous one.
What are you?
I am the hope of the universe. I am the answer to all living things that cry out for peace. I am protector of the innocent. I am the light in the darkness. I am truth. Allied to good! Nightmare to you!
Let's see the Kai one. You know, they say that this scene itself ruined America's view of Goku because it's not how the Kai made him, or it's not how the manga made him out to be. We get this Superman, savior of the universe guy.
What are you?
You haven't figured it out yet? I'm the Saiyan who came all the way from Earth for the sole purpose of beating you. I am the warrior you've heard of in legends, pure of heart and awakened by fury. That's what I am.
I am the Super Saiyan, Son Goku!
You see this? In this version, in the Kai version, Goku reveals himself to not be the Superman savior of the universe, which sometimes he does play that role, but to actually be, he came here to defeat Frieza, and that's what he's going to do. And during the fight, he's waiting for Frieza to power up, to get to his 100% power so he can fight him that way. He wants to beat him that way. That's the Goku that is the actual Goku. Not the fighting to save the universe. Because if he was simply pure of heart here to save the universe at all times, he would fight Frieza in the whatever form he showed up as. He would take him out immediately. But he wanted the best fight he could get as well. And that's way better demonstrated in Kai.
What, clown? Are you feeling angry, humiliated? Is that it?
Fool! You don't know what humiliation is! Don't worry, I will teach you its better taste, just as you have taught me. Me, a warrior elite. In my fingertips, I hold the power to destroy entire worlds. I am a Saiyan of royal blood, the last of my kind. And on my shoulders rests the glory of an extinct warrior race. Whole civilizations once trembled at the sound of my name. But did you, Kakarot? And at your common hands, my honor and my pride, the foundations upon which I have always stood, began to crumble at my feet. It was at your hands that I suffered my first great humiliation. Tash! Who avenged our pinnacle of our race. Legend when the strength child. Your half-life is your second. That time is over. Every breath you take is an assault to my honor. But no more, Kakarot! By my hands, you will be cut down inch by inch, the way you have cut down my pride!
And let's look at Kai on this one.
So, Kakarot, how does it feel to be put in your place?
It's not the first time I've been in a tough spot.
Stings the pride, doesn't it? But still, this pales compared to the humiliation you've caused me, rotten clown! At last, I will pay you back for every indignity. Time and time again, you succeeded where I failed. Left me behind, chasing your tail in disgrace. A proud Saiyan prince, forced to play second to a low-born commoner like you. And for that, I will cut you down inch by inch. The way you have cut down my pride!
Come on, dude. That's like worlds, leagues better. All right, check this out. Remember this?
Well, it's about time.
Hey, I know you've got a plan.
Yes, and?
Well, I hate to pry, but what is it exactly?
Kakarot, how many times have you saved the world up until now?
How many? I'm not sure.
Just a ballpark.
Well, gosh, half a dozen at least.
Then perhaps it's time to let the world fend for itself for once. Got it. Now, listen carefully, Dende. This is very important. I have two wishes I want to make. First, I want the planet Earth to be restored to its original state. And second, I want all of the people who were killed since the morning of the World Martial Arts Tournament to be brought back to life. Do you understand?
I'm sorry.
Dende, I'm putting my faith in Vegeta's plan, and I'd like for you to do the same, okay?
Only those two wishes matter to me, so do what you please.
Hey, just out of curiosity, why didn't you ask the dragon to bring all of the people who were killed by Boo back to life? Wouldn't that be easier?
No thanks. That would mean Bobbity would be revived, and I never want to see that little imp again. Also, that wish wouldn't restore all the innocent lives I destroyed at the stadium.
I see. Wow, I'm impressed. You really thought this thing through.
Superb!
Hey, so what's next? What's the plan? Your halo, it's gone! You're alive again! You lucky dog. Guess what else? The evil people weren't wished back. The verdict's in. You're a good guy. Ha! That's it! The plan. I know. I'll bet you're going to have Gohan, Goten, and Trunks fight, aren't you?
Wrong.
Kai does it 10 times better. 10!
Nice. It sounds like they're on their way.
Hey, Vegeta, what are you up to? I know what you're thinking, but Boo could just wipe out everyone all over again.
Look, Kakarot, tell me, how many times have you saved the Earth, do you think?
Why are you asking me that?
Just answer me, how many times?
Well, I'm not sure, but I guess a lot.
So then, why don't you let the people of Earth shoulder the burden for once? Is that so?
So then, what are you thinking of doing now? Vegeta, look at your head! Your halo is gone! You're alive again!
Oh!
Hey! I was worried they'd count you as one of the bad guys and not bring you back to life. You wanted Goten, Trunks, and Gohan brought back to have them fight Boo too!
Wrong! You got it right where you want him, buddy! Let him have an uppercut! Left! Right!
Hercule was always good, no matter what series it was. Anyways, as you can see, your mind plays tricks on you to make you think that the original dub was any good at all. There's some tiny parts that shine, sure. A good Goku speech, but for the most part, Kai dwarfs Z in every way. You might not think so, because maybe you have only seen when Nicktoons aired Kai, which was a heavily censored version of the show. Now, if you notice in some of those clips, even in Z, there's plenty of blood. There's still cussing. They ultimately stopped some cussing when they were doing... They ultimately stopped some cussing after the Frieza saga in the original Funimation dub. Probably because there was no reason to keep having to cut the audio tracks or re-record things when most people will only ever see it on TV. But when Kai came out, they held to the actual feel of the scenes, what they should be translated into. And sometimes that means people cuss. People say hell a lot. People say damn a lot. And they don't have to draw HFIL on shirts and wipe off blood and turn blood purple and all those things that made no sense. There are heavily censored versions of Kai, and especially the Nicktoons version where they change the color of Popo and they get rid of all the blood, or they turn it purple, or they turn it green. That's not Kai. Kai is great. It looks great. It sounds great. Some people don't like the soundtrack. Whatever. Some people don't like the voice actors per character. Whatever. It's a better show overall, though. It's much more enjoyable. A lot of the slow moments, low moments, waste of time moments are gone, and we have a more manga to anime representation. What's not to love? Also, the voice actors are just way more experienced by this point, so any original voice actor that was a part of the original Funimation dub sounds way better now. Piccolo doesn't often sound like Vegeta and vice versa in Kai. If you watch Z, the voice actor for Piccolo and Vegeta often gets a little too close to sounding exactly the same. And there's several other characters like that too. And all of the random, untranslated, no attempt to translate quips and jokes and silly things that they put in the original dub are gone. So overall, I recommend watching Kai. Skip Z. Yes, you will miss the Garlic Jr. saga. Yes, you will miss several random episodes, or maybe you'll miss other non-canon events, but who cares? It's a better show overall in every single way. Now, if you're just stuck to nostalgia and you can't help it, then so be it, but quit trying to act like Z is better in any way, because it's not. You're crazy, insane, or delusional, like I said. So please subscribe and comment and argue with me and fight me and want to beat me up in the comments, because that would be awesome. That would honestly be so cool, and I would feel so encouraged by that. Bye.
Brian the Boy.